It might seem obvious, but consider using accumulated leave more often to recharge and protect your health. Take sick days when and if you need it. Do not draw down that health battery, your reservoir of resilience, by toughing it out when you're currently struggling to work. Hi, I'm Michael Gilbert. I'm an attorney and a former ALJ with the Social Security Administration. Mandatory disclosure. These videos are for educational purposes only. This is not legal advice. Also, while I'm a retired ALJ, SSA does not sponsor or endorse anything I'm about to tell you about the inner workings of the disability bureaucracy. Using leave to manage your health assumes you still have leave or paid time off available. If you don't, it's worth looking into whether your employer will grant you unpaid leave. Alternatively, you may be eligible for FMLA, the Family Medical Leave Act, or its state equivalent. We have a video on FMLA coming up, so please subscribe to our channel to be notified when that video drops. For those of you who have leave from your employer available to you, whether sick leave or vacation time, this is super important. Too much toughing it out may result in a tipping point for your health that ends up putting you in the disability line. Consider some creative solutions to discuss with your employer. For example, you could take a few hours off over several days rather than taking a full day off and then having to work full days the rest of the week. You may find that using leave in this manner may make it easier for you to manage a health crisis and get you back on your feet. As you think about this, don't forget what you've learned from our previous video about reasonable accommodations. A creative use of leave requested from your employer may itself be a reasonable accommodation. Remember, if the request to use leave in this manner could help you fulfill the requirements of your job, it may be a reasonable thing to do, and an employer may be legally required to consider it. This may be true even if they do not have an existing policy that expressly allows for it. We'll link to the reasonable accommodation video in the description. If you are out of paid time off or leave and sick leave, many employers also offer leave without pay. Leave without pay is just what it sounds like. You don't come into work and you don't get paid during that time, but you still have your job to come back to when you get better. Depending upon your employer, you may be able to keep some of your employee benefits like healthcare, which can be a big deal when you don't have any remaining leave left. Some employers even allow their employees to donate sick leave to one another, which would also let you maintain some of your benefits, assuming the donation allows you to maintain the minimum hours needed to qualify for continuation of those benefits under your employer-provided plan. For example, maybe your employer offers health care to full-time employees but not to part-time employees. We've seen where a woman whose disabilities were making her job a real struggle was able to qualify for continued health care benefits. This was because her generous coworkers donated enough sick leave for her to make it over the employer's minimum hours to remain qualified for their healthcare plan. As always, remember to check the rules in your state. Be sure to check your employee handbook. Check with an HRO professional and the union steward for any situations unique to you. Make sure you get the right information at the right time. Now I'm going to tell you another secret. Even if your employer does not have programs like these, ask for them anyway. No leave without pay program? Write a simple letter or email to your boss and ask for a leave of absence for your health. Explain the reasons for the time off. If they agree, when you get better, you'll be able to return to work and skip the hiring process. If your employer is a small business, they may not be able to leave your job empty while you recover. Perhaps you can ask if they will consider hiring you back when you are better, or maybe they will provide a reference about how you did a good job until you became ill. If you get such a letter, one where the employer explains that you did a good job until your impairments prevented you from working, that letter will be very persuasive evidence should you ever need to explain to SSA that you left the job because of your disabilities. Always create a paper trail for yourself. Even if you go into their office and ask them informally, take the time later to put your request and any response in writing with a date on it. Give a copy to them and keep a copy for yourself and send one to Human Resources. Send one to the union if applicable. Should you not get better, even if your employer does not agree to grant your request, you have documented your health issues at the time you could no longer work. These go in your PALANCE papers, the place where you keep all of your papers about your struggle to work because of your disabilities. So let's wrap this up. First, be aware of your reservoir of resilience. Once you burn through that, it will be extremely difficult to heal and keep working. A crash is far more likely. So to prevent that, consider taking the leave you need when you need it. Second, don't forget leave without pay. Larger employers may be able to accommodate this. And this ties into our future video on the Family Medical Leave Act, or FMLA. Be sure to check your state FMLA rules as well. Third, ask no matter what. Create that paper trail so that down the road there's no question when you truthfully say, I had to leave that job because of my disabilities. Okay, questions? Put them in the comments. Please like and subscribe. Also, check out the description of this video for an index of related videos with links. Finally, remember to check out our Family Medical Leave Act information in the next video. Want more resources? Head on over to our YouTube channel, Ask the ALJ, and start learning things that no one else is going to tell you.